my breath there a little bit. Well, a hard-fought game is what we anticipated, and came down to a play or two here or there. You know, it certainly, we knew coming in Hawaii was going to be a really competitive team, and they fought. It was really neat to see our guys come up with a play, and the guy who intercepted the pass had a club. So we did get a trophy, so now we're 3 for 3 for our trophy games. So we're excited about the win, and so I'll open up to any questions anybody might have.
Obviously, big plays at the end, but you know the offense still was inconsistent. Your defense was out there a long time, but you found a way. Just what does just kind of gutting out a win like this mean to this football team?
Well, there's a lot of things. We're still finding our identity offensively. I think we had some big plays tonight. Particularly Trey Wood had a couple big plays, so we're pleased with that. James Price had a great catch. This is his first game back, and he's been out for a while, so that was great. You know, offensively, Hawaii's got an excellent quarterback, and they mixed some things up and really stretched the field on us. You know, the kicking game came into place. Tyler Hall's kickoff return was huge, but there are a lot of plays all the way around. We're going to enjoy tonight, enjoy this win.
Do you feel like you found your identity running the ball with Trey Woods?
Well, I think there was a combination of not only some holes up front, but Trey adds something special, and he had a couple big long runs. I don't know how many yards rushing he had, but
over 100.
He had over 100. So you know we're going to celebrate that.
Coach, Gavin getting the start tonight, and then Caden coming back. Just how do you think the guards held up with two new guys in there?
I thought they did well. Now, you know, I think Caden's going to be out for a while, which is going to be disappointing. But hopefully, we'll have Ryan back next week. And it was great to have Gavin out there.
You know, you didn't have Prosser for a while in the second half and stuff. You know, Garrett Krall gets the tip, and you mentioned Cash with a club on his hand gets the interception. Was that say for just the maybe depth, but also just guys next man up mentality as you guys have?
Well, there's no doubt about that, and we play a lot of guys, and those guys have played, and you know, up until this week, Cash was really having a hard time getting adapted to that club, and he adapted pretty well, and it was great to come up with the interception there in the tip.
When did you guys know that James would be able to go this week?
We were given some indication early in the week that he would be cleared if he had to do some things in practice, but we had anticipated from Monday on that he'd be cleared. And it was a really nice throw and a great catch.
Other times, Craig, the offense did kind of sputter and couldn't stay on the field. You know, did Hawaii do anything different, or what do you think some of the issues were with some of the offensive struggles at times in this game?
Well, a couple things. Hawaii's defense is one that they can be very disruptive. They can get you out of rhythm because they'll do some unconventional things, and when they have some plays that pose problems, you know, there's going to be some no gain plays. But on the flip side, you're going to have some long runs that pop out of there, like we did the time with Trey.
Coach, what was it? I guess what did Tyler and has he shown you over fall camp and everything to kind of be back there for kickoffs in the first place, and what have you liked?
He's
about
an explosive player, and we looked at the guys that we could have back there, and we felt like while he was going to be our starting corner, that he could add an awful lot for a kickoff return, and he certainly did.
Was that too? Because I know that roughing the kicker penalty on him, you know, helped them get a touchdown. Is a little redemption there for him?
Well, you'd have to ask him that question. I was frustrated. I know at the time he was trying to make a play, and Coach Richardson said he just took too deep of an angle, and so I'm sure it was he felt a little bit better about coming out. But you know, you'd have to ask him. I know this: as young men are going to go out there, they're going to play hard. Sometimes they're going to make some errors. It's not because of lack of effort. It was great to see him come up with a kickoff return. That's hard to do. To return a kickoff for a touchdown is hard play.
When the offense sputtered and then you go into overtime and it's the first play of overtime and you find the end zone, what was said before that overtime, or what sort of shifted that you go in there and Josh throws a bomb?
Well, you know, it's interesting because I saw a couple of our defensive guys go up to Josh and say, hey, you're made for this. And some of our leaders on defense, like Andrew Wingert, a couple other guys. And so there was a real sense of confidence. And I think it's an indication these are moments where a team starts to define themselves, and you know, everybody had confidence in those players.
Craig, with Caden and Kevin had injuries and didn't come back. Any others? I know you get more of an in-depth report tomorrow, but any other guys that didn't didn't come back or anything?
Marcus Sept may not be back next week. He wasn't able to play, and that was at the tail end of the game. We'll see. We'll know a lot more on Monday. So it was a physical game. And I know Hawaii had a couple players. They lost their star linebacker who went down as well. So hard-fought game. Coach Rolovich really represents that school well. You know, we'll go out there next year, but we'll handle next year as next year we're going to celebrate tonight.
Is there any concern or a few big drops in the first half, and how do you kind of, I guess, avoid letting that get in the guys' heads?
We've got to correct that, and that's got to be corrected fairly quickly. You know, I thought Josh was throwing the ball well. When you have 3 drops in the first half, you know, Robert was alluding to sputtering. Well, it's pretty hard to not have drives stalled when you're dropping passes, and so it was great to see James come up with a big reception there.
You guys did this last year as well. What's it mean just to start conference with a win and start 1-0?
Well, this is huge. This was our #1 goal at the beginning of the year to win our conference, and a conference game is always important. And Hawaii's a really competitive football team, and they've gotten better. And we knew it was going to be a hard-fought game. We're excited we won.